Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. Reaching beyond the skies, running deep, stretching wide. Perfect love realized here with you. Now this love is for real, you will never let go, never let go. Oh, and it's more than just words, love beyond my control, out of control. This is real love, this is real love. This is real love, this is real love. Oh.
Welcome to week 2 of the virtual experience with Fun Arts. Today's video, we're going to go over part 2 of the chorus for our song, Church Clap. We're also going to do some origami with our leader, Blessing, where she's going to show us how to make an origami butterfly. But right now, if you have followed all the instructions in the video so far, that means you're ready to dance. And that means you are in good dance clothes. Your dance area is clear of toys. At least the part area where you will be dancing is cleared of toys. I still got some toys out. With parent permission, you have moved furniture and now you're ready to move around. Before we get started here, let's watch last week's dance clip to get a refresher of what we learned last week with part 1. If you have not seen part 1 yet, meaning you haven't learned the first part of the chorus yet, I would recommend waiting to watch this part. You can watch it and learn it, of course, but make sure you go back and learn last week's part of the dance too, because at the end of the dance today, we are going to put part 1 and part 2 together before we go into origami time here. But really quickly, watch this. Now that you've watched that clip, you've got a refresher of how the dance for the part 1 of the chorus looks like. Let's get into part 2. So at this point here, we have just finished the final count of 8. Our hands are flat down like this, our legs are together, we're facing forward. Now for this next part here, what you're going to do is you're going to stomp and lean to your left. And at the same time, your fists are going to come together like this, and your elbow is gonna go up like that. Now notice, my arms are straight across. They're not crooked, they're not flapped, they're straight. So no matter which way I move my arms, they're going to still be straight across here. So let's do that for beat 1 here. We're at beat 8, we're gonna move into beat 1, 1. Very good. Now this part moves a little fast, so we're gonna go 1 and 2 and. Very quick. So 1 and 2 and. But let's rewind it so we can do it together. So for beats 1, you're stomped, your elbows up like this. For beat and, your right leg comes and meets with your left leg. Your arms are straight again. And then you're gonna stomp for 2. And then you're gonna go for the and, you're straight again like this. So let's do it all together here. Ready? Nice and slow, nice and super slow. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and. Stay right there. Because now we're going to learn beats 3 and 4 really quickly here. 3 and 4 and. So now you're here. What you're going to do is really quickly turn, lock your elbows to your sides, and you're going to stomp your right foot forward like this. 1. Well, technically that's beat 3. So 3. And then you're going to come back up. And then 4, you're going to come back down. And then you're going to come back up just like that. So counting 3 and 4 and. 3 and 4 and. Very good. So let's start from the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's start from the beginning and the beginning of part 2 and let's see if you guys got it. We're gonna take it super slow, okay? So we're not gonna rush it. Don't feel like you have to go super fast. So let's take it from the beat 1, or actually really let's take it from beat 8. Your starting point is beat 8. Your hands are down like this. Your legs are together and we're gonna count. This is 8 and then we're gonna go into 1. So ready guys? 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good job! If you felt shaky, you felt like you didn't quite get it, that's okay. We're gonna do it a couple more times to make sure you're comfortable with it. Ready? So starting from here, this is beat 8 from part 1 of the chorus going into part 2. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Very good. Let's do it a couple more times. I feel like we should really get this. This part's kind of fast. The beat's slow, but it's kind of fast with the ands in there. So I want to make sure you guys are comfortable here. So let's start at this point. Your hands are flat down. They're together like this, but they're flat. Your legs are together. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Were your elbows together on your sides when you were bending down like this? If they were, good. If not, make sure your elbows are together. When you're facing forward, your elbows are out. But when you're facing the side, your elbows are in. One more time, and let's see if we can get it on beat here. So the beat of the song is 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Stay put, don't move. Breathe, but don't move. So now we're gonna go into the 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, which by the way, is what we just did, but backwards. So for 5, you're gonna turn and you're gonna be faced like this. Okay? So just like we did on part 1, this time you're gonna stomp on your right foot and your elbows are gonna go up like this, because we're gonna backtrack. So let's start from this point here, and you're gonna go 5, just like that, because we were on beat 4, we're on beat and, but we went 3 and 4 and then we're gonna go 5 and 6 and now here it comes again. 7 and 8 and. Just like that. So it's just like what we did in the first 4 beats, it's just reversed. So let's start with beat 1. Well, this is beat 8. So let's start with beat 8 from part 1 of the chorus, going into part 2, and let's put it all together. We're gonna go nice and slow though, okay? 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. Very good. Let's stay frozen here in the spot so that way you know where you're at. Let's do it one more time all together, okay? We'll do it a couple more times, not just one more time. We'll do it a couple more times here, but we're gonna slowly speed it up so that way you guys get more and more comfortable with it. Ready? So let's start from this point. This is beat 8 from part 1. Now we're going to part 2. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and sides, your elbows should always be in. And when you're facing forward, your elbows should always be out. So there you have it. Even I'm gonna make a mistake here. So if you made a mistake, then we're in this together. And if you did not make a mistake, then what you doing not teaching this dance? You should be the one teaching it. I'm just kidding. We are learning this here together. So that way, when this coronavirus goes away and everybody's able to come back together at church, we can do this dance together, and how much more fun that will be. But let's get back to focus here, and let's do that whole 8 counts all together one last time, so that way we can repeat it, and then you'll see the special surprise that we have when we end the chorus. There's a special surprise, a slight twist to what we just did here. But first, let's not get carried away here. Your hands are flat down like this. On the beat 8 from part 1 of the chorus, we're doing 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. Good job. Now stay put. If you moved, come back into place here where you're facing the sides like this. Your elbows are together. Your feet are together are apart, and that's okay. So for this part here, you're going to repeat those same 8 counts again. Technically those 6 counts, but just for a better understanding, you're going to repeat that all over again. So you're going to go back into 1, and then you're going to go through the whole dance. So let's do this here. We're on 8, on and, 8 and now we're going to repeat that all over again. So 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. Very good. We repeated it twice, and if you did it, then awesome. I'm so proud of you. And even if you felt like you messed up and made a mistake, then that's okay too. I'm just so proud of you for trying, and that just means we just have to all practice throughout the week. Now that you have these videos, you can practice this dance at home anytime you want, so that way you feel sharpened, you feel strong in this dance, and you are ready to get it grooving here. Let's do it all together one more time, but let's add in that special surprise here. So this whole part that we just learned today is another 16 counts. You're doing the 8 counts of this, and you're doing that twice. In the last 7 and 8 and, that 15 and 16 and, instead of what you've done here at this point, you're gonna go 5 and 6 and, instead of turning, you're going to jump and land down here on the floor, just like that. But when you jump, you're gonna jump like a star. So jump and then land like a frog. Let's put it together here. Let's pretend we're in the last 8 counts here. We've done it once, now let's do it again. That's last 7 and 8, jump like a star, land like a frog. Let's do it. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. Just like that. Let's do just those 8 counts one more time. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. So ready guys? 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and. Very good. If you're out of breath, you're doing it right. If you're not out of breath, you must have super lungs, because I am for sure out of breath. Let's do that whole part that we just learned today. Let's do it all together. We'll do it one time nice and slow, and then we'll do a second time on beat. And then let's put part 1 of the chorus and part 2 together with some music. But first, let's just do it nice and slow, those whole 16 parts that we just learned just now, all together. So your hands are down like this. From part 1 of the chorus, you're on beat 8. We're getting into the part 2 here. 5 and 6 and nice and slow, 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and very good. Take a moment to breathe. I need to breathe. Okay, let's get into this one more time. Let's do it a little bit faster. Ready? Hands are flat down like this. Everyone's hands should be flat down like mine. You should look just like me. Ready, guys? 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and very good. Now let's do something even crazier. Let's do part 1 and part 2 together with the music here. If you need a quick refresher, that's okay to do it here. But we're gonna start the next clip. We're gonna start the song from the beginning. I'm gonna count us in, and then we're gonna do the whole chorus all together, on beat, on tempo. So, let's get ready. Let's take a moment here. You can pause the video, get a drink of water, take a breather here, and then press play, and the next clip will begin.
Church mother in a church hat clap.
Hey guys, it's Blessing, and today we are going to be making an origami butterfly. All you'll need is any type of paper. First, you're gonna fold one edge to another edge and fold it very well. Next, open it and do the same with the opposite side. You're now going to open it and turn it this way, not that way. You're going to fold it. Make sure you fold very well. Now open it back up and fold it horizontally. You're now going to fold in the crease. If you need to fold it better so you could get a line that you want, go ahead. This might take a little time. Now you're gonna get this type of triangle. You're gonna turn it like that. And then you're gonna fold one part of the triangle like that. And do the same with the other side. You'll get a shape like this. Now you take this part and fold it up. Put it up enough, up enough, so you can fold it over that part. And now fold and press firmly so you get a butterfly. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!